Hey everyone, my name is Matt and welcome back to the channel. And today I'm going to be giving you my review on Halloween Ends. Now, this will be a spoiler review. I'm not going to break down the entire movie. I'm just going to give you my initial thoughts. So if you have not seen the movie and you don't want it spoiled, I recommend you going and watching it and checking it out and then coming back and watching this. So overall thoughts, I absolutely, as you probably can tell from the title of this video, hated this movie. This was really, really bad. Like the worst Halloween movie I think that I have ever seen. And I don't mean Halloween for the holiday. I mean Michael Myers Halloween movies. And yes, there have been some pretty bad movies, but this one to me really takes the cake. I don't understand what they were trying to accomplish. I can appreciate the fact that they try to go outside the bubble and maybe try something new, but it failed on a absolutely horrendous level. I mean, in a nutshell, Michael Myers was sidelined in his own movie. I don't see how that's possible, but they managed to do it, and I don't like it. And I have seen some people say they really enjoyed it, and if you did, great. That's fine. You're allowed to like things that I don't like. But just for me, not anything that I anticipated, and I wasn't even really the biggest fan of Halloween Kills. I liked it at first. Like I thought it was okay, and then the more I've watched it, and I've watched it a couple times after, it doesn't hold up. I personally, just so you guys know, or whoever's watching this, I am not a giant fan of Michael Myers being some type of evil entity. So when they went that route in Halloween Kills, it kind of threw me off, right? The allure to me, at least for Michael Myers, was I always just thought he was just a normal guy who was a nut job. So when they started going that evil route, like entity route, that evil can't be killed, that's where I started to kind of, and maybe that's why I don't like Halloween Kills so much. But even if that's not the case, I really don't understand how people can enjoy this movie simply for the fact that he got sidelined, and we're concentrating all of our time on this Corey character and nothing even pays off. Like if you're going to concentrate on this Corey character and build up, what happened to him, right? Because obviously he ends up accidentally killing a kid while he's babysitting, and at least this should be something of like a passing of the torch, so to speak. That's how it felt like they were alluding to this whole time. And no, that's not even what happened. Like the kid gets killed in the movie, and we'll go back a little bit because I'm going to be jumping around all over this movie. Also, the fact that we see Michael Myers technically team up with someone makes zero sense. And that's not just because of like my opinion. I mean, based on the previous movies, Michael Myers kills at will. There's no thought process behind it. The guy just kills. And, I guess you could sit there and I've seen maybe defend it and say like maybe he saw something in this kid's eyes and he can relate to it and blah, blah, blah. But he's supposed to be just a killing machine. Like there is no thought behind it. There is no whatever. He's just kills everything that he comes across essentially besides babies. And that's it. So I don't really understand how people enjoy this. The acting was bad. It was terribly written. I mean, the score and the music was good, but again, how many times have you seen Michael Myers throughout this entire movie? You see him mainly at the end. The fact that this is 4 years later, I didn't really agree with the whole time jump thing. I don't think Jamie Lee Curtis did a really good job in this. That one scene where I think she was either carving a pumpkin. I think it was carving a pumpkin in the kitchen. They were all sitting there talking, and or it was a pumpkin pie or whatever. I think it was carving a pumpkin. And she starts screaming about showing a dude her top, right? And she screams that and then takes the pumpkin and throws it on the ground like the guts of a pumpkin. Very like out there. Like it made no sense at all. It was very strange, this movie. I did appreciate some of the Easter eggs that they had in there, like the font of Halloween Ends in the movie is very similar to the original, like I think Halloween 3 or one of those movies with the font where it was like kind of a blue font. So that was a cool little Easter egg. The beginning of the movie, when John Carpenter's The Thing was playing, was a nod to the original with what they were watching during the babysitting scene. So those are actual Easter eggs. So I like those. That was kind of cool. But this movie did not hold up well. even when they eventually, quote unquote, killed Michael Myers, and then they parade him around the town, like they tie him to the top of a car. How would the people know this? How would they know that it's him? Like, it's just a lot of things that you're just supposed to assume, and I don't know, man. It's just, this movie was an utter mess from beginning to end. I didn't like the Corey scenes at all, the whole buildup of his character. Like I said, it would have made more sense to me if they were going to be doing like a passing of the torch movie. And I understand what they were trying to go for, that, evil can be in some of us, and you can spot it, and it's just not in one entity, right? Like Michael Myers. But there was no payoff for all that stuff. For everything that this kid was doing, how he kind of snaps and starts going on the spree, and he steals Michael Myers' mask even and starts killing. Like, he tries to become Michael Myers and fails miserably, and then Michael Myers kills him himself. Like, it's just all over the place. It's literally like they just took a bunch of ideas and said, to hell with it, and just started throwing it against the wall. And like, well, let's see if this works. Let's do this. Let's do that. Some of the death scenes are cool. The DJ, like, that was pretty neat, like how they had his face look after he smashed into the table. A couple of those things I appreciated, but overall, this movie was an absolute mess. I will never watch this movie ever again. Halloween Kills, even just taking those two movies, which again, I didn't care for that much for Halloween Kills, and this, they're so different. It's like they completely took a right turn from that last movie, and no explanation whatsoever as what Michael Myers has been doing for 4 years. He's just been hanging out in the sewers like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something, or it. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand how that. Was he eating rats? Does he not need to eat because he's not human anymore and he's just full on evil? Like, I don't know, man. I just don't get it. So the dude's been living in the sewer for 4 years for no reason, just kind of hanging out, and then that bum that attacked Corey, and then Corey killed the bum for what? You're gonna go get me that mask. Like, so the bum knew that Michael Myers is down there. I don't know, dude. It just very, very strange the way they decided to go about this. Personally, I think this movie, they shouldn't have done a trilogy. I thought 2018 Halloween was not a perfect film by any means, but the way they did it and the way that ended, that could have been a perfect ending to Michael Myers. And even leaving at the very end those breathing noises kind of to allude, maybe there's a sequel. Perfect. I think that would have been the great way to reboot the franchise and get people to do it. But I know it's a money-making machine. They needed to make more. But the way that they did this, and basically they destroyed his body in that chews up everything, right? You've seen it in probably on multiple videos. That just churns up. It could destroy cars, anything. And they throw his body in there so that he can no longer ever come back. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me personally. Like, it's just, this film is not for me, and that's okay. If it is for you, fantastic. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you enjoyed, what you liked about it, and why you like it. And I'm open to those ideas. But for me, this just didn't do it. I was just constantly like head scratching, like, what is going on? Like, this is so weird. I just didn't get it, and I didn't enjoy it. The weird flirtatiousness going on between the police officer from the last ones and Laurie. And even Laurie's character, right? She went from some alcoholic, lunatic, protective nut job to, and that was when Michael was locked up and she was super protective of everything. Now her daughter's dead, and now she's just like, oh, well, we just got to keep living and moving on. Like, and they explain why, right? But it's just, that doesn't really make a lot of sense as to why her character would do that, especially knowing that Michael Myers is still out there and that he could come back at any time. You'd think she'd even be more of a nut job now. But I don't think for me, they didn't do a good job selling me the idea that she was just like, you know what, I just need to keep living and move on and blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't get that. But to me, this movie was garbage. I will never watch this again. This is now completely headcanon gone. Like, I'll never appreciate this movie. I don't think I can ever watch this again. It's Halloween, the original from the 70s. I like the 2018 version as a follow-up, and I didn't mind the original part 2, the one when Laurie's in the hospital and Michael Myers goes there. The only thing I did not like about that film was that they had to tie in that they were related. You know, like the relation. I didn't like that. If they took that away, I think that would have been a perfect sequel. But I don't know. You guys let me know below in the comments. I always love to hear your thoughts. If you like this video, hit the like button. I would greatly appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, you're just checking me out for the first time, hit the subscribe button. I do tons of Halloween movies, all kinds of movies, TV shows, whatever, all kinds of reviews. You can check them out in my playlist, previous videos, etc. And you can check out more things as they come. So, till next time, everyone, take care.